Why would I resign? I have a tenure. I was appointed to serve for a tenure, and you have not given me reasons why you would want me to resign.
Unwavering and determined to put up a fight, the President of the Judiciary is now going head-to-head with the former President of the Law Society of Kenya, Nelson Havi. Her tenure in office threatened by an affidavit filed by Havi seeking to have her and the Supreme Court judges removed from office, citing massive corruption at the Apex Court.
Sorry to say, I will put the graft index at the High Court and Court of Similar Jurisdiction at 70%. 70%? Yes. At the Court of Appeal, I'll put it at 30%. At the Supreme Court, I'm sorry, it's 100%. The Court of Appeal is a college court of 3 judges. You'll have to bribe 3 judges. The going price for a Court of Appeal judge is between 10 to 15 million. So for you to bribe a Court of Appeal bench, and of course the cost of the emissary, you're talking about not anything less than 30 million. You get it?
For a bribe.
For a bribe. So it's not an easy enterprise.
Her tenure began in 2021 and will end after 10 years. However, the first female Chief Justice and the third under the 2010 Constitution faces unprecedented turbulence that could plunge her career into oblivion if at all her accusers make good their threat to battle this to the end.
These judges of the Supreme Court believe they're gods. Whatever they do is incapable of challenge elsewhere because this is the final court of record. Okay. They will fall. Take it to the bank, they will fall. I do not take an enterprise that I cannot conclude. I've removed a judge from the judiciary.
You're determined to go with...
I will remove this.
Koome has previously cited that the move is a witch hunt. Her accusers, however, say it's purely on merit.
The axe must cut all of them on the BBI case. When it came to the enactment of this impugned regulation to bar advocates from discussing the merits of the matter, the Chief Justice acted on behalf of the 7. You understand? So, unlike a High Court where you will go for 1 judge because the judge sits alone, the Supreme Court sits either as 5 or 7. That is the reason as to why the sword of Damocles is hanging on all the 7.
Critics further say that the move is political and that the accusations do not hold water, and that it is a bigger scheme to cause chaos in the judiciary and curtail it from carrying out its mandate.
They are so generalized, and they look at it as an institution, which cannot be the case. They are complaints about an institution. And there is no procedure of dealing with the judiciary as an institution in a disciplinary matter, because discipline is per the judge. So we need to look further. What is the motive behind this? Okay. And in my own assessment, and given the threats that we have seen since the new constitution was promulgated, there's usually a very big interest in the constitution or the composition of the Supreme Court during the presidential election.
So what is the process of getting the CJ out of office? 1, it is filing a petition. So any person may petition the Judicial Service Commission for the removal of the Chief Justice. The petition must clearly state that the grounds for removal and be supported by evidence. The grounds for removal include misbehavior or misconduct, inability to perform office functions due to mental or physical incapacity, breach of the Code of Conduct for judges, bankruptcy, incompetence, and any other sufficient cause.
Without the power to make rules, and despite the restraint in the Supreme Court Act on what rules they can make, they made rules to bar advocates from appearing. Those rules were declared unconstitutional. They proceeded to act on those rules and bar an advocate. Now there are these dimwits, individuals with the least understanding of the problem of the judiciary, who she sends on Facebook and Twitter to countermand serious allegations that we have made. But let me ask you, with that background I've given you, don't you see there is a problem with the Supreme Court?
The Judicial Service Commission then reviews the petition to determine whether it discloses valid grounds for removal. If it does not meet the threshold, it is dismissed. If the CJ finds merit in the petition, it forwards the matter to the President with a recommendation to form a tribunal. Upon receiving the recommendation, the President appoints a tribunal to investigate the allegation against the Chief Justice. The tribunal comprises of a chair who is qualified to be appointed a judge of the Supreme Court, 3 other members who have held high judicial office or qualified to be judges of the Supreme Court, 2 advocates of at least 15 years standing, and 1 person with experience in public service. The tribunal then investigates the allegations and provides an opportunity for the Chief Justice to defend themselves. The tribunal then submits its findings and recommendations to the President. If the tribunal recommends removal, the President is obligated to act on the recommendation, leading to the Chief Justice's removal from office. If the tribunal finds no grounds for removal, the Chief Justice remains in office. A judiciary eager to fight back the allegations of graft, a petitioner willing to take this fight to the end, and a Chief Justice adamant that she will not resign. This is the current state of the Kenyan judiciary, as the fate of the 7 Supreme Court judges hangs in the balance. Brian Amuai, K24, Nairobi.